it when we get teleported.
For us, people are joining now.
Yo, what's up?
People are joining now. I posted it.
Alright.
Zever has to do an at everyone for more people to join, but you know.
Yeah. Why are people trying to join a private server?
Bunch of spectators this time. Wow.
Why are there more spectators, dude? Just watch the stream.
They don't want to hear you.
They paid extra money to get front row seats.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is.
You guys are getting paid?
No. This is just slave labor for me.
Alright.
I think they're getting ready now. Oh wait.
Fucking Ajax, what the fuck? Alright, maybe though, maybe.
Hey.
Alright, I'm gonna
I'm getting paid for talking.
Yeah.
Imagine getting paid for talking. That's just a normal human thing. Oh man, this spectators are pushy. This guy said, "Oh, okay." So they're getting a bit pushy. They're getting a bit agitated. They paid good money for these front row seats. What's this? What the hell?
What?
I don't know, these people. They have matching uniforms and they're just watching.
Take down that crown.
How do you take it down?
Oh no, I saw people do that.
Oh. Nope.
Zevo just needs to threaten to ban them.
Yeah. For those joining the stream, the finals will start soon. We're just waiting for server space because there's a fuck ton of spectators. I don't know why the spectators is as if you guys paid for front row seats. But maybe you got the stream, so you're just asking a bit too much. So the
Yeah,
people who
your
are in server,
voices, you have
we need space for OGAKI.
ultra low latency. You get music too, wow.
Stream is top tier, and yet
And
some
you
of
can
these
always
people still
pause
won't
and go back
spectate.
in a stream.
Exactly.
I also need views.
Yeah. We need views, we need paychecks. Oh, I think they're getting ready. Oh, it's getting ready. Oh wait, no. Still waiting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've 10, but I guess they don't have their starters.
Just use the bench. Dude, what is he doing?
I don't know. Okay.
Alright, okay.
Yo! I love this person was about to get left out.
Alright, the finals are starting. Everyone watching the stream, welcome to the finals. Today we got a pretty good game. Maybe we'll go to 5 sets, who knows. On one team, it's SOKUDO High. On the other team is OGAKI Academy. Looking at the polls and the announcements, it's predicted that SOKUDO's gonna win. What do you think about that, Vol?
I mean, so far I believe they 3-0'd every team they've played in the tournament. But OGAKI had a tough game with Rakuzan last time. So, it depends on if
Already
SOKUDO
SOKUDO's
play
up
like
by
they did.
1 point. It's a serve towards the middle. It goes towards the middle, so they set it over the net. Zul sets it over the net again. At the moment, they're just setting it up. Gibbs goes for a set. He sets it to Justin. Received by Zev. Sets it up by Zul. They feint it back over. It goes towards the middle. It goes to Gibbs' bad sets. He sets over to Disc. And Zev blocks it, giving it a good high. Another point. 2-0.
OGAKI just needs to focus on not making mistakes like they did in the Rakuzan game.
Yeah. At the moment, I do feel like they're making some mistakes. All they need to do is they just need to get the team pace going, like how SOKUDO's doing it right now. The ball's over on the OGAKI Academy side, but they're just setting it up. Is that 2 hits? Are they going to set it over? No, they didn't. It's 3 hits. 3-0 to SOKUDO High. Apparently the music's too loud, Vol.
Yeah, I'm changing it.
Justin spikes it over. It goes to Rise. They set it over. Justin sets it to Gibbs. Sets it to Dispensable. They receive it. They set it back up towards the middle. Goes to Zevar. It goes to Rives. He slams it straight down. Dispensable receives it. Sets it straight down to where Fly to Sora was. Right at Fly to Sora's tippy toes. 3-1 to OGAKI Academy. spikes over to Freaky Game as he sets it up. Savart goes for it. He sets it to the left, but the angle is too bad and it just goes out. 3-2.
Was Zev one of our setters in Hina set?
Who?
Zevart.
Savart? Yeah. Freaky Gamer, by the way, goes for the Q. He misses it. He overextends. He goes for the Q again. Savart goes for the set. He sets it to Rives. Good quick set. Spikes it straight down on the right side.
Ogaki's blockers are just jumping way too early and going for the setter and not where the ball is going.
Alec fails to receive that serve as well. Tries to set it. It goes on the line. Rises to the serves. It hits the line. The back row needs to take a step back. Leave the front row towards the line. Let them take it. Sets it up to Justin. Justin tries to go for the spike, but they block it. Goes for the set again to Justin. Are they going to block again? No, they feint it over. Zul goes for the set. Goes towards Zavart. He spikes it over, sorry. They set it straight up. Goes to Gibbs again. Ooh. Joe tried to go for the spike, but they blocked it. Flytosaur blocks it. Self-proclaimed god. Flytosaur manages to block it. 7-3. He sets over to Justin. Feints over. Sets it straight up. It goes over the net. They set it straight up slightly above the net. They're blocking it. They're just blocking it upwards. They set it straight back. That's a good play. They feint it over. Back on the other side. Sets it straight up. Savart makes the play to set it. Flytosaur, it almost goes to Flytosaur, but he hits the net and it lands on the line. Giving OGAKI Academy another point. Goes to Flytosaur. Flytosaur sets it to Savart. Savart sets it to a 4AMZ, but they just miss it. The timing's just bad on the jump and they just couldn't get the ball. Justin goes for the serve again, looks rushed. Rives manages to receive it, sets it to 4MZ again. She's too late.
She jumped way too early, like before you even said it.
She really jumped way too early. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to get to... Ooh, that was a good diagonal. Sets it over. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go to the finals, you need that team chemistry. Both teams have that team chemistry. It's just a matter of timing and calling out these plays, calling out these sets.
I think it's because she's missing a leg.
Probably. Actually, yeah, she is. She's missing a leg. Maybe she can't jump that high. Maybe she's bad at jumping because of that one leg. Maybe she needs to get that checked out. Set over to Joe. Joe goes in for the feint over. Rives gets it. Freaky's about to bump it, but Zev sets it. 4MZ goes for the set, but they block it. They tried to bump over, but Savart just spikes it down towards his own court. Unlucky SOKUDO High, 7-8. OGAKI Academy took back the lead. Flytosaur sets it over to Savart. Savart goes for the set. Too low. Flytosaur hits it into the net. 7-9. At the moment, it's a minor lead, but if they need to sort out their team chemistry, they set it over to Flytosaur again. A good diagonal spike. What OGAKI Academy tried to do is they tried to jump, like try to make sure they get one block in the air to ensure that Flytosaur couldn't really spike it towards the middle. Keeping in mind of the blocks, that's a good block by Zul. A great block for that spike. Goes for the set, goes to Joe again. Will they manage to block it? No, they won't. It goes over. It goes towards the other side again. They tried to block it. It's a rush set. Flytosaur, I totally didn't expect that.
I think if OGAKI like abuses the fact how SOKUDO's backline just moves all the way up when they're on the attack. If they just hit it right behind them, they'll get points.
Yeah, that was a good set, but Joe predicted that. He managed to get the cross block. Went to the other side. SOKUDO, I didn't know what to do. Sets over to Savart again. Goes to Flytosaur again. It's getting a bit predictable. He taps it over. They're setting up again. This is the second hit. They have to go for the third hit. They set it over. It crosses the net. They tried to ape it, but Savart blocks it. A great block. A great prediction. They should not have aped that. 10-11. A good serve towards the middle, sets it straight up by Justin. Alec goes for the set, goes to Joe. It goes out.
Good on Zeba right there.
Sets it straight up by Joe. Alec goes for the set. Sets it straight up. Joe goes for the diagonal, but he misses it. Unlucky Joe. I see he had a skin change this time. From the semi-finals, he was green. People kept calling him Shrek, but now he's just like a fish. He's just a blue fish. He sets it straight up, goes for the spike. SOKUDO High blocks it. 2 hits on that. Unlucky, but they spike it right over. They might go for the set. Sets it to Rives. Too early on that jump. They tried to set it, but he was just too late. He got caught on the net. 12-12 is all tied.
I think they're expecting quick sets. That's why they're jumping so early, but maybe some miscommunication with the setter.
Yeah, speaking of communication, that's a great set. Fighter Sword jumps so high, self-proclaimed god just jumping with his feet. Sets it straight up, spikes it straight down. Self-proclaimed god like an angel from above. Just struck down. Send it up towards the middle. Alec goes for the set. He spikes in, it hits the side of the block, it goes straight down. 13-13. Bumps it over, a safe play. Even in the finals, that is a good play to do if you don't feel comfortable. That is a good set. Goes for the diagonal. That is a good hit on the line. A good diagonal spike. Goes towards the side. Phased through just smoosh. Joe gets it, sets it to Alec. Justin goes for the spike, really early jump, that was good timing, but Rives just blocked it. Goes towards the middle. Alec could have had that. Goes for the diagonal spike, but they managed to receive it. Goes for the set again. That is a great set.
Fraz, someone has a question. How are they playing so well?
How are they playing so well? Well, honestly, us in the commentary table, we don't know how they're communicating, but I do believe that a key part of being able to play volleyball well is to play like a team. You may be good individually, but you have to play with the others in order to make the plays, because in reality, you can't always be dependent on yourself. You have to depend on others too. That's the thing about volleyball, it's a team sport. So overall, it's just the chemistry, it's the communication. You know, they're probably talking so fast right now as the other team makes plays and makes decisions. As the ball comes over to the side, they need to think, right, how are we going to get the ball over? How are we going to secure each point as if it matters? Speaking of each point matters, why did he queue for that? Libro's getting too hasty with the queue. That's a failed serve, it hit the net. Libro has determination. He says, that's the last time I'm missing. This is truly the finals. Everything matters for this one tournament. The Winter Tournament, the Winter Cup, sorry. Goes for the diagonal. It just goes out.
Probably bounced on the net. I think that's what happened.
It bounced on the net. We need a VAR. We need the replay. Set straight up, Fighter Sora. Seth goes for the right side. 4MZ gets it. A good spike. Joe tries to block it. Just wasn't there. Good serve towards the back. It goes towards Joe, or gives bad sets. It goes for Joe. Savat manages to reblock that. Comes in from the middle to the right. Manages to block it. 21-16 to SOKUDO High. They might take the first set. The polls might be correct. There's everything to play for in this game. Anything can happen. They tried faking it. A failed early jump, but they managed to set it over. They're setting it over to Justin. And Rives goes too forward, and it just goes past him, giving OGAKI Academy another point. As Alec apparently predicted that. Libro bumps it to Savat. Savat goes for the spike. It was too low. It hits the net. Bumps it again to Savat. Who's he got to set to? Goes to fly to Sawyer, goes for the diagonal, but they managed to receive it. I think that's 2 hits. Again, they block it again. They need to think, right, how are we going to make the plays? That's a good play. That's a good spike, but they managed to receive it. A good rally so far. They set it over. They're giving SOKUDO High the opportunity to make another quick. Sev goes for the top up, but they managed to set it over. Fly to Sawyer blocks it. They receive it again. They're going for the spike. They feint it over. They set it back over the net. Send it over. They may have to block it. They may quick set it actually. It goes to Joe. He feints it over again. Sets it straight up by Rives. Bumps it towards Fly to Soy. He goes for the tap in. At this point, everyone's getting agitated, but SOKUDO High is keeping their formation of 3 at the front and 3 at the back. That was a good set, but unfortunately just went outside of the court and Fly to Soy does not look pleased. 21-19. An amazing rally, but he just messed up. That's the thing with rallies, ladies and gentlemen. It's until the one team makes a mistake. As soon as one team makes a mistake, you lost a point. A good serve, it just about goes to the front row. It goes to gives bad sets. It goes over to Joe. Joe's about to spike it. He feints it over. 4AMZ sets it up. Goes to Zul. Zul back sets it. Goes to Fly Soy. Slams it straight down at Alex's feet. 23-19. They're just back setting it. Amazing coordination. Goes over the net, but it hits on. It's out. It was almost on the line, but it's out. A good call by SOKUDO High. SOKUDO High looks like they're about to take the first set. Dispensable manages to catch the ball. It goes over to Joe. Joe taps it over. They're playing it safe. It goes outside of the. Ooh.
OGAKI's not doing a lot of quick sets, I think.
Yeah, no, they're just playing it safe.
It's giving SOKUDO time to receive.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're not trying anything racky, you're not trying anything dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, what was that spike? Tried tapping it over, it hits the net, giving SOKUDO High the first set. While we turn over to the second set, I would like to mention our sponsors for today. Our sponsors for today are Volleyball 4.2 and the Iranian Embassy, following the events of what happened with Donald Trump and the Iran Commando, whatever it is. Pretty wacky stuff. Let's just hope it doesn't get too bad. They receive it over, they feint it over, freaky, the Libra gets it, sets it to Zul. Predictable at this point, they're just backsetting it, sets it straight up by Fly to Sora. Zul goes for the set again, sets it straight up, slams it down by Rives, 1-0.
There's 5 on the court.
They have 5 on court? You're right, they do, they have 5 on court. Actually, no, they have 6, Goes survives, spikes it straight over, Justin manages to receive it. It goes over the net. They set it straight up, that's 2 hits. Actually, no, it's not 2 hits, that's 3 hits, sorry. A good spike by 4AMZ. Serves it straight over, sets it straight up, goes for the feint over. The Libero gets it, Zul sets it again to Rives. Rives slams it down, but Elec manages to block it. The iron walls. That's a good receive by Svar. It goes over to Zul. Zul sets over to 4MZ, slams it straight down. It bounces on the net, but because it got touched by OGAKI Academy, they managed to get another point. So to Justin. Justin sets over to Elec. Elec sets it straight up. Who's going to spike it? Are they going to block it? Yes, they block it. They managed to block it by the fingertips. Are they going to set it straight up? No, it goes on the line. The Libero failed to make the call. He didn't get it. There's a bit of obvious confusion between Rives and the Libero. They didn't know who was going to take it. Elec goes for the serve. It goes to Zul. Zul sets it straight forward. Sets it straight up. How are they going to do it? Gets it from behind, but they block it. They weren't able to receive it. They weren't quick enough. It goes to Fly to Sora. Fly to Sora sets it to Zev. They're making it as unpredictable as he can on where he's going to serve. That's a good spike. Straight down the line. Goes over to the left. It goes out. Rives try making a tricky play, bouncing it on the line. Well, unfortunately, it just goes 2 out. Oh, there's 2 people serving apparently. 2 people got teleported. It messed up their momentum. They couldn't get that serve in. No one knows how that happened. Actually, no, I think they
Because
subbed in.
someone
Because they
subbed out,
subbed in.
so the rotation is messed up.
Yeah. That was a good spike, straight down. 4-5 at the moment to OGAKI Academy. Again, a minor
Reoccurring
lead.
thing.
Anything's to play for, so that makes it's unpredictable. Spikes it straight in, sets it up backwards. Zul can take it, sets it straight up. They try to spike it, they block it, but they manage to receive it. Goes for another set, tries to feint it over, sets it straight up to Zvat. Where's it gonna go? It's gonna go to Flying Sword, but it hits the net. An unfortunate angle. 4-6. Goes over to Flying Sword sets over to Zul or Zvat. It goes over to the left. Unfortunately, they were just too close to each other and it hits the net. It didn't give it any time at all to go up. At the moment, OGAKI Academy are taking the lead. They need to sort out their position. It goes over to Flying Sword. Spikes it. They manage to receive it. It might go over to the right. Who knows? It goes over to the left. It goes outside the court. A good play by Rives. A good call.
Apparently for the sub, the ball was broken. It was like frozen midair for a whole round with the sub.
That's interesting. But what's also interesting is that they hit it 3 times, meaning that Flight Soar couldn't make the spike. 5-8 at the moment to OGAKI Academy. This may look like it may go to 5 sets as expected of a volleyball final. They go for the fake spike. They tap over diagonally. They set it back over the net. Goes in for the spike, but it goes outside of the court. Unfortunate. Six, 8 at the moment. Sets over to Joe. Joe feints over again. They're playing it safe. They don't want to risk it while the blockers are still there. They accidentally mess up the sets. Libra cues forward. The score is now 69. Funny number. Goes over to Zvat. Zvat sets it up to Zul. Zul teleports over there. It goes to Rives. Slams it straight down. They manage to receive it by Justin. Set it over the net. 4MZ goes for the ball. Zul sets it upwards, but it goes straight for the slam. It goes outside the court. Will they save it? No, they won't. Funny number's been broken. Sets it over. Goes for the diagonal. It almost goes out. Speaking of going out, that goes out. Unfortunate libero. And then goes for the serve. It goes for 4AMZ and on the front line. Goes to Zev. Sets it. The 2 blockers manage to block 4AMZ. They feint it over. Joe sets it straight up. Goes to Justin. Oh, but Zvat blocks it. Oh no, but they gotta go for another feint again. They set it straight up. That's 1 hit. They tried feint it over, but again, it gets blocked. It's going towards the back row now. It goes towards the front row now. Early jump. Goes for the set, but Rives manages to block it. Amazing plays going on at the moment here in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. They try to go for the spike. No one sets it. They're both getting greedy. They're both trying to ape. Set it over to the front row. It's close to the net. Sets it straight above the net. They send it up again. Maybe they need to do a back set. I'll send it to Flight to Soar. Goes for a diagonal, but it bounces off the net and it goes out. Another funny number. 9-11. It's not going great for America right now. First Iran and now 9-11 again. Oh, but it manages to hit the block. It goes towards the middle. The delayed set. They just managed to get it over the net. They hit it over. For MZ. Spikes it over. They set it again towards dispensable. It slams it straight down on the line. 9-12 to OGAKI Academy. They're managing to take it back. They set it straight over to the front row. Goes to Flight Soar. Flight Soar manages to get it past dispensable on the right side. Slams it straight down towards the back row. 10-12. Looks like the power duo's here again. Flight Swan Zavat. Slams it straight down. Amazing spikes by Dispensable. Playing on the cooldowns of the blockers on SOKUDO High. Speaking of SOKUDO High, it sets it to it goes to Flight Soar again. They jump too early, but Flight Soar manages to get it. Oh, they have to jump again. Manages to block it again. They have to set it straight up. They bump it over, but it goes outside the court. 11-13. Savat's time to serve. It goes towards the back row. They set it straight up. They have to set it forward. They have to spike it now. All three blockers are there. Two people tried to go for the block, but the ball was just in between them, and they did not hit it at all. 12-13. SOKUDO High is making the comeback. Goes straight for Alec. He's going for the set again towards Justin. It goes for the diagonal. Fight Soar wasn't ready. He should have stepped back a bit. Or maybe Zavat was going to get that. Who knows? Zavat sets it straight forward to Zul. It sets it to Flight Soar. Hits the net. There are many blockers on Flight Soar. I feel like things are just getting predictable now. They may be marking Flight Soar more. I think they need to pass to Rives more. Sets it straight up.
If Rives can get his stuff together, he's been iffy all game.
Yeah.
So why they're not marking him as much?
No clue, dude. Goes outside the court, an unlucky diagonal. I don't know what OGAKI's doing, but I think they just need a Ganta star. Honestly, Vold, I think they just need a Ganta star in their team. Someone to boost their morale, someone to shout every time they get a point. I think that's why Taihoka works.
Ganta Star or Sacred Fox to scream Japanese at them.
Yeah. Can't forget those guys.
I DM'd Ganta to come on and commentate with us, but I think he's offline.
Probably. Oh shit, good spike, but they managed to receive it. And that goes to the quick spike. It goes towards the back row behind Flight to Soar. At amazing speeds. It goes towards the middle to Zul. Zul sets it to Rives. The blocker jumps early, but managed to get the set in. It's spike it. No, they set it over. MZ sets it straight up. Who's gonna get it? Zul's gonna get it. Goes over to the front. Goes for MZ. They get ready for the jump.
I think what the setter needs to do is watch the blockers, because I believe 4AMZ was really open when they set it to Rythe.
I think what they need to do for the finals is they need to switch up with the back row as well. They need a formation going where no matter where the open spots on the net are, depending on where the blockers are, there's always someone who, if they like spike straight forward, they might be able to get a point easily. Like sort of like a W formation.
I have not seen a back attack.
Yeah, I have not seen a back attack at all. I remember when me and Vold, we did back attacks. Back in Firebird, back in Hinase, etc. We did back attacks. They were pretty good. They were pretty unpredictable. Speaking of unpredictable, hits the side of the block and it goes outside of the court. Goes of Flight Soar, sets over to Zavat. Goes towards the left for AMZ. The good block manages to stay in the air enough to block it. OGAKI Academy might take the second set, but who knows? Anything's up to chance. Goes to Zev. It's too low again. Sets it to Flight Soar. Flight Soar sets it. Sorry, I didn't mean set to Flight Soar, I meant serve to Flight Soar. I both start with S. And that goes for the setup. They have to spike it down. They go for the feint. I believe they hit it multiple times, so they had to bump it over. It goes to the back row. They managed to get it back. It goes to Alec. Sets over to the left. But he just misses it. He's just off. It was off position. 19-20 to OGAKI Academy is getting close. Managed to get over to the front line. Sets it up again. It goes over the net. sets it straight up to Zavat. Who's Zavat gonna set it to? Sets it to... Goes for the diagonal, and they manage to receive it. They go for the tap over, sets up by 4AMZ. Zavat, whoa! Freaky Gamers took the opportunity to just set it straight over. They try to block it, but they block it within their own side. 2020. Just like this year. A good tap into the diagonal. Libro gets it, goes to Zavat, manages to spike it in at 180 degrees. They set it straight up. It may go over the net. It's going over the net. They try to spike it down, but they manage to block it. They manage to get it again. It goes over to Rives. Rives sets it to Zavat. Zavat goes to Flight Sora. They try to tap it in, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get it over the net. Goes to Flight Sora. Flight Sora sets it to Zavat. He's going to set it to 4AMZ. I think this is a good front row. 4AMZ, Flight to Sora, and Zavat. They're pretty capable. But then again, Zul is also pretty good at setting when Zavat isn't there. Overall, I think SOKUDO High is more organized than OGAKI High. I think the only sets I can see from OGAKI High are Alec and Justin. Actually, no, not Justin. Gives bad sets. Gives bad sets and Alec. I think they're the setters. But the way I see it is that they're just not performing as well as Zavat and Zulz. Speaking of Zavat, manages to tap it in an open spot in the middle. Doing so well. 22-23 to OGAKI Academy. Set over to Gives bad sets. Sets it straight over instead of back towards Justin. Libro passes it to Zul. It goes over to Rives. Unfortunately, I guess he gets caught in the net. Doesn't jump as high. Doesn't get the spike. (22-24) to OGAKI Academy. Can SOKUDO High take it back? Flight Sora goes in for the diagonal. A good amount of speed, enough to get the diagonal in the open spot while everyone was on the left side where Flight Sora was. Flight Sora going for the serve. It goes towards the middle. It goes towards the front middle. It goes towards the left. It goes over the net. They're pushing it too forward. They need to push it to the side. This is a good comeback by Rives. 24-24. It's tied. It's going to go past 25 points in the second set of the finals. Sets it straight up by 4AMZ. Zul goes for the set. Sets it straight up. They spike it down, but the blockers were already there. 24-25 to OGAKI Academy. Are OGAKI Academy, are they going to get the second set? Or is SOKUDO High going to get another point to keep the struggle on? It sets to Zurel. Goes over the net. Goes to Dispensable. Goes to Gives bad sets. Goes over to Alec. Taps it in. OGAKI Academy takes the second set. 24-26. Funny enough, the feints were working well. They were keeping the momentum going. They were relying on the mistakes of SOKUDO High. And so at this point, it's 1-1. Sets to Zul. Sets to 4AMZ. They managed to block it, but the Libro bumps it over. They set it straight up. It goes to Gives bad sets. It gives to Alec, but unfortunately, because Alec jumped too early, she couldn't jump. She couldn't jump. Pretty much, she couldn't jump. It goes over the net. It goes out. A bad serve by Zul. But good thing is, it doesn't go on the line, so it's behind the line, and so they don't get a point. I'm getting comments that Electa's a boy, but at the same time, I know of my own experience, man, that I'm seeing a trap. What world we live in. Goes to Flight Sora, sets it over to 4AMZ. 4AMZ sets it to Rives. They manage to get it, hits the side of the block. It goes out of the court. SOKUDO High gets another point. Alex should have stepped back for that one. They set it straight up. It's 2 hits. They managed to bump it over just about on the front. They could have got a spike and straight down. They go for the spike, goes for a feint, sets it straight up by the Libero. It goes to 4MZ, sets it to Flight Sora. Too low, but he manages to just tap it over. They set it up, it goes to Gitz. Some good plays. Some good plays indeed. They're just tapping it over. They're taking it slow. They're not making it too fast. They're just waiting until either team makes a mistake so that they can get a point. They're just tapping it over. They're just fainting it over. Just like that. That was a mistake, but they managed to recover pretty fast. If I saw it sets it up, it sets it straight up, but the libero manages to bump it. They need to have more power to those sets. Sets it over. Tapping it over again. Ooh, Zul managed to get it. The libero bumps it over. They try to spike it, but Rives manages to receive it. Goes to the fly to Zora. Feints it over again. The momentum is slow, like a turtle. But you know what? It's a battle of perfection in terms of slowness. But speaking of which, Fly to Zora apparently blocks that. This 1 point was all about which team made the first mistake. Sets it backwards accidentally, sets it back to the front, managed to feint it over, and managed to save that bad play. Goes to 4MZ, goes for the set. It bounces on the net, it was too low, it bounces on the net and it goes out 3-2. Joe serving. Goes to flight to Sora. What? What was that? It looked like it hit a block, but it went down and it went back up. I don't understand what happened. Set it over. A good block by Zul. They tried to go for the diagonal, but 4MZ gets it. Oh, is this it? That was 3 hits. They accidentally hit it twice. Bad organization. They need to communicate. Electin choose to serve. Wait, what? Wow, that almost went to the front of the court. But as soon as Savak, you know, as soon as Savak went back, managed to get the bump in. That's a bad block. Goes inside of the court.
He's lagging a bit.
Yeah, he's lagging a bit. Look, he's all over the place.
Jesus.
He's bumping it. He's making good plays. He's taking the safe route. He's just bumping it. Whoa, that's a good set.
No one was there to stop the straight.
No one's there indeed. They need to focus on the blocker. 1 man per person. 1-to-1 ratio. A good block manages to get past Justin towards the back row where Joe was.
Good response on SOKUDO's parts, because they just did the exact same thing OGAKI did to them.
Yeah. Sets it straight up to FMZ. He's all going for the set. Goes into Rives, but Justin read that. Managed to block it straight down. Amazing plays being made here. I definitely think this is going to go to 5 sets. And even then in the 5th set, it's going to be pretty close. It might even go over 15 points. A good block, but they managed to receive it. They're bumping it over. They don't want to risk it. The libero just wants to bump it over. Goes over the net. Unfortunately, Joe doesn't get it, so it goes outside of the court. SOKUDO is now in the lead by 2 points. They need to appreciate those 2 points while it counts and keep that lead going. Goes over to libero. Almost bumped it. Goes to 4MZ. Goes to Rives. Waited for the opportunity for when the blocker went down and spiked it diagonally. A good play. Now ahead by 3 points. 8-5. Sets it to Joe, but gives bad sets. Goes for the other side. Manages to block it. The ball was too close. It goes over to Flight Sora. Flight Sora sets it to 4MZ. It may go to Rives. It goes to Rives, but whoa! He gets the reach and Justin sets it up, but it wasn't enough. Jesus, that reach by Rives, that was amazing. 9-5 to SOKUDO High. Gives bad sets. It goes to Joe. A good 2-man block, overpiling each other. A good block by 4MZ too. Sets it straight up. Goes to Rives. Gets the diagonal. Rives making an anime moment here. Well, it's like the 3rd season of Haikyuu. Low key, it's Aruxis. Anime moment. Chance ball. It goes outside the court. Zoom doesn't manage to get it. making a plot twist to his teammates here. Volleyball, this is the third episode. Third episode of the third season.
Do you mean third set?
No. What's it? Haikyuu third season, it was 10 episodes for just one game.
Oh yeah, that was Shiro
finals.
Torizawa.
Yeah, the finals. What episode is this? We're on our third set.
I'm not sure because they usually skipped, but a lot of the sets
Good
unless it
block.
was really close, unless it was like a really long rally.
Yeah. See, I think this sudden plot twist, I think this comes around the 5th or 4th episode.
Which
Lives
one's
is now
Tsukishima?
boasting that he's this person, but in reality, I just think they're too focused on the game. That was Alex just wasn't in position that time, didn't get the set. Sets it over to SOKUDO. Rumsey sets it straight up, goes to Zvat, goes to fly to Sora. Really see an opening. All three blockers jump at the same time, but there was an opening. They tried to set it, but no one was there to get it. It was too close to the net. Tried to set it over, but it hits the net. 39 to SOKUDO High. Who's gonna take the third set? Sets it straight up. Goes to Joe. Fails. Unfortunate. Vives is now threatening to sell the game. We can't tell if he's memeing or not, but if he's serious, then this is very important. SOKUDO needs to win this. They can't afford to have one teammate selling. OGAKI blocks it. They managed to feint it over. They set it over the net. They're sending it towards the front. It goes for MZ. There's two people on the left. Two people on the left. There's none on the right. Sets it over. I think Savat is lagging too much. But Flytosaur is just carrying the front row right now with 4AMZ. While Savat is lagging, I think Savat needs the power of the NPFU. The legendary lagger. Flytosaur taps it over for the 2 block. They try to bump it over, but they mess it up. 15-10 to SOKUDO High. Says a Flytosaur sets it over. They accidentally block it inside of their own area. 16-10. Goes to Alec. Alec sets over to Joe. Flytosaur manages to block it with his fingertips. It feints it over. Dale's now subbed in for... Who did Dale sub in for, actually? Vol, do you know?
Who?
Oh wait, Dale subbed in for the Libero.
Oh
Freaky
yeah.
Gamers.
He
Interesting.
either had to go or he
Yeah.
lagged out.
They set up again. They have to get the spike. Savat. Oh no, it's 3 hits. But Savat looked like he was trying to get the ball.
But with
Take
the
a step
absence
back.
of a libero, they have
Yeah.
a new attacker too.
Yeah.
Except the rotation is messed up.
Oh, Savat sets it. Flysaur just sets it over the net. Going for a set. Then tries to set it over, but dispensable. Whoa! He picks on Savat while he's lagging. Even though dispensable was too close to the middle, he manages to rush to the left side and manages to spike it straight down. So as of right now, SOKUDO High, they don't have another sub. Savat is lagging. He needs to bump it or leave it alone. A good choice. He left it alone. Behind the line also. SOKUDO High, they're getting attacked by a lag attack. It may be Iran after what Trump did. Maybe they're just DDoSing this volleyball game. It's all set so Flytosaur just taps it over diagonally.
SOKUDO's libero came in the chat and said he lagged the hell out. So
He lagged out.
relatable.
That's not good. Maybe Ogaki Academy is colluding with some external force to make sure that SOKUDO High don't win. Zivart's lagging, their libero lagged out. Rives is now acting suspicious. Goes for Zul. Zul sets it to Rives. He just walks. He doesn't spike it at all. He's lagging apparently.
Speed server.
They want the spectators to leave, but two of the 3 spectators are me and Vold. The third one is Sully. I don't know who Sully is, but sets it towards Zul. It goes to Rives, sets it, spikes it, so he's straight down. A good spike by Rives. Elect tries to get it, goes too forward. Just hits the back of the court. SOKUDO High have a lead of 21-15, a 6-point lead. It goes towards, gives bad sets. It goes towards Dispensable. Dispensable tries to spike it, but they just block it. He's spiking straight at the blockers. He's not bothering to wipe. I don't think I've seen anyone wipe here today, Vold.
If you mess up the wipe, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, but either way, it's always a risk. Wipes are always a risk for both teams. Firesaw manages to get it. 5 sets it over. There's 3 blockers in the middle, but they're all condensed. Goes for the set. Well, it hits the block, but it still manages to go. Justin slams it down. 22-16 to SOKUDO High. A 6-point lead still, but can SOKUDO High get this 3rd set? Despite their teammates lagging, Rives was running on the spot, but he still manages to get the diagonal spike. 23-16. SOKUDO High is doing amazing. Even when the odds are stacked against them, they're still managing to struggle. Justin going for the spike. Flimsy, Zavart lagging like NPFU. Flimsy just spiking. 2 blockers. They block Rives. Unlucky. 23-17. See, I can't tell which team is falling apart. It looks like SOKUDO High was for OGAKI is. Rives almost messes that up by sets it straight over. OGAKI Academy just needs to get their formation again. Look at their formation. They're leaving the back open. They can just get a good spike. They're playing for feint still, but you never know when they're going to do a hard spike towards the back. Eventually, someone's going to have to queue for that. It goes for 4 AMZ. Spikes over to Rives. Goes for a quick, but Rives misses it. 23-18. Maybe all that SOKUDO High need to do is, just play it safe. Just get the 2 points and then do the quick set. Goes to Rives. Rives slams it straight down. It hits the block and it hits the net. 24-18. 1 more point until they get the 3rd set. A good serve towards the middle. Goes straight to the setter. They set it straight over. It goes towards the middle. Goes to Zul. It goes to find Sora. Gets the diagonal, but Leg manages to receive it. Sets it over the net. Sets it straight up. Goes to Zul again. Tried to dump it. Zavart's... Jesus Christ. Zavart is all over the place and Zul didn't set it. 24-19. Can SOKUDO get this 1 point to score the 3rd set?
No, they got specs.
He's got a lag Nomi. Whoa, it hits the block. Hits the side of the block. They managed to tap it over. Whoa, Zavart! Whoa! Manages to get the ball. A good save by Zul. It goes towards right, and they manage to get the 1 point thanks to Rives. The 3rd set is theirs. It is 2-1 from 25-19. Zavart isn't giving up at all, but it hits the net and it gives OGAKI Academy the 1st point of the 4th set. Whoa, Zavart almost used Flying Raijin to get to the ball. Goes for the right. The right is completely open, but even then Dispensable doesn't get it, and Zavart just teleports all over the place on the net. Let's see what happens. Selects time to serve.
Would
Hits the
abuse.
ball. It goes towards the left. It goes to Rives. It goes to Zul. Zul sets it to fight Sora, but it's too low and it hits the net.
Their
One free
serves
to
should just
Ogaki.
all be aimed at Zevart. Like, honestly.
Yeah,
Just abuse the man's lag.
yeah. If Ogaki Academy wanna make a comeback, they may have to play dirty. They may have to person who isn't doing too well. But then again, who knows? Maybe someone will cover for Savant. They tap it over. It goes to fight Sora. Fly Sora. It goes over to Zul. To Rives. Goes straight down the middle of his perspective. Straight on the left. Goes over to the right side. The right side. It sets over to the middle. It sets it straight over instead of sending it back to one of the front row ring spikers. Goes over to the left. It goes to Rives. A good opportunity to spike well one, but but he spikes it down 2-4 to Ogaki Academy. Goes to the right, goes to fly to Sora, goes over to Zul. Who's Zul gonna set it to? Rives again, not giving Dell any chances to spike. I wonder why. Sets it up, maybe we're gonna give it to Dale. They're focusing too much on Rives. I think it's just too much reliance on one person. They need to give it to
Dale over
Dale.
there was wide open for the spike.
Dale was definitely wide open, but maybe this is a plan to get all three blockers on Rives so that when it's open for Dale, he may just slam it straight down, getting a few points. Who knows? We don't know the mindset of SOKUDO right now. We don't know what they're doing. They seem pissed off at each other that Rives isn't in it. Maybe because he's lagging. He needs to pass it to Dale. Dale doesn't seem too bothered by his player language. He still passes it to Rives. It hits the block. Sets it again. Are they going to pass it to Dale? No, it goes out. Too much reliance on Rives may be the end of SOKUDO's set here. It may go to the 5th set if they don't work as a team. Goes to fight to Sora, goes to Zul. Will he finally set? No, he sets it to Rives again. Sets it straight up. This is the one mistake that SOKUDO High are making. With a 2-8 lead, it goes to fight Sora. They do a back set. A back set. He slams it straight down accidentally, giving SOKUDO High a 3rd point. That's the first back row set that I've seen in these finals, world. And a good one for that. Maybe they don't even just trust Dale. They trusted Fly more than Dale on the same side. There may be a reason. Now Dale's time to serve. He misses the serve. Isn't looking too good.
It's his serve, but does not give up a point.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do if you can't get the serve in.
Yeah, either that or just bump. A good serve towards Dispensable. It goes over to Gibbs, bad sets. It goes over to Justin. Goes for the diagonal, but Rives is ready. It goes over to 4MZ. Might set it to Rives again. It goes to Rives again, but there's 3 blockers on them. See what I mean? They need to pass it to Savant, but even though Savant's lagging, they may need to pass it to Fly Sora again, who is behind Savant. Whoa, slams it straight up, but Fighter Sora just wasn't moving. He was stuck in quicksand, watching the ball just go to the right of him. 5-9 to Ogaki Academy. Sets it straight up by Zul. It goes over to Dale. Dale sets it straight forward. It goes over to Rives. He feints it over. Goes over near the net again. He block it straight down, but they manage to receive it. Dispensable. He follows the ball, but he already touched it. They have to feint it over again. Goes over to Dale. Dale sets it straight to the front. Goes for MZ. Goes to Rives. Rives playing on the timing, but he manages to wipe them. 6-9. Funny number. Funny number, everyone. 69. Sets it again. It goes to Gibbs, bad sets. Sets it over. It goes to Zul. No, actually, it goes to Rives. It goes to 4MZ. It goes to fight Sora. It manages to get a good set, but he manages to receive it. Feints it over. It goes to set. It goes to 4MZ. Goes to fight Sora again. Going for a diagonal. That's a good diagonal. Straight near the middle to the left for Ogaki Academy. 7-9. Breaking the funny number. Dispensable receives it. Sets it over the net. They're setting it up again. It goes to 4MZ. Sending it to Fly to Sora. Ogaki Academy need to realize that
Which set
because
is this 3rd or 4th?
I believe this is the 4th set. 2-1 to SOKUDO High.
Okay.
But at the moment, it looks like OGAKI Academy might take back this 4th set, taking it to 5 sets. They're setting it over. They set it straight up by Rives. It goes over to 4MZ. Spiking it straight on the line is pretty predictable at the moment. Everyone needs to focus on Fly to Soar. Savannah isn't doing too well unless maybe Savannah's getting DDoSed on purpose so that as soon as everyone's focused on Fly to Soar, he just turns back on his internet. He's doing Flying Raijin now. Goes to Zoel, sets over, goes to Fly to Soar. Another diagonal. They need to tighten up that defense. Amazing plays. It's now Del Savant and Fly to Soar at the front, but Savant can't set. So how are they going to start the setting? Are they just going to feint it over? What is Del doing? Why is Del on Savant's side? Can Del play the game? He doesn't even know what's going on. Goes over to Joe. Joe sets it above the net. Goes to Rise. It goes above the net again. Sets it above the net. It's just a game of sets. Sets it to fight Soar. Del's on the other side again. We have no clue what Del's doing. Elect tries to go for the diagonal. Zavant's just getting DDoS. 2 hits on that. Fight Soar has to set it over. He sets it over. Everyone's congested. Look at that formation. Look at OGAKI's formation. It's too messy. It's more messy for Savant's internet. Goes over to Zul. Zul sets over to fight Soar. Del's there as well. It hits the side of the block and it drops down. 11-11. It's tied on the 4th set.
Is in the chat, yo.
Curve's in the chat. Hey, shout out to F2. I better get ranked. I'm working my ass off on his commentary. I better be giving good commentary. It's fucking entertainment. I need my paycheck. Goes to Fly to Soar. Got a good set. They managed to receive it. They have to. Whoa! They try to go for the. They try to go for the spike, but it hits the net. Sal Savatsto, maybe he's gonna bump it. Maybe he's gonna leave it alone. It doesn't. It doesn't go on the line to give the other team another point. But at the moment, SOKUDO High has a minor lead of 12-11 by 1 point. Elec fails the serve. It's Fly to Soar's turn. They manage to receive it. It goes to Justin. Justin goes for the feint. Set it straight up instead of sending it forward. They set it over to Rice. Rice is gonna feint it. He tried going for like a mini wipe, but it just about hits the back. He tries to spike it from the back, but it hits the net. Fly to Soar, serving again. Goes towards the right side. Goes towards the middle. Justin tries to feint it again. He's not trusting the ring spikers. They blocked it, but it goes to Rives. It goes to the other side. Was that 3 hits? Or did Rives just mess up that badly? Goes towards the middle. Savant manages to receive it. I feel like he's doing better. Okay, you know what? No, he's still teleporting. He's still teleporting. Goes to Rives again. Slams it straight up, but they managed to receive it. There's an open spot on the right for SOKUDO High to take advantage of. He tries to spike it, but goes to Rives. They just feinted it. There's a big gap on the right. Why they're not taking advantage of it, who knows? Maybe they're just caught up in the moment. It hits the net. Unfortunate. 14-12 to SOKUDO High. You know, Volda, I think it's quite odd. I feel like OGAKI should have the upper hand, but they're just not as good as SOKUDO High in terms of the chemistry. Speaking of chemistry, that's a good set, but they managed to receive it. They tried bumping it, but they mess up.
That went right through Justin. I don't know what happened there.
It might have even hit the post. Who knows?
He must have released early.
Yeah, from the angle that I saw, I think it was going to hit the post anyway. Goes to Zul. Rice doesn't even bother to jump. I don't think that was a good set at all. Goes over to the left. Goes to Zul. Zul's about to set it to Rives again. See, look, all of the blockers are now going to Zul's. Instead, 4MZ is known to make good spikes. We don't know what's happening. Maybe it's just favoritism. Del tries to go for the set, but it hits the line. The back row needs to back it up. Take a step back. Analyze the field. Goes to the left. Goes to Svart. No, it goes outside on the court. 16-15 to SOKUDO High.
I think
Will SOKUDO High take
should.
this set and win the finals, or will it go to 5 sets?
I think Ogaki's just following the ball, and they're not staying on a single person.
Yeah, they're just following the ball. Look, there's 3 people at the front, but Fly to Soar sets up. Savat's at the back now. Savat's just doing flying Raijin. He's just teleporting everywhere. That's a good set. They weren't ready for that block. They weren't ready to block that, sorry, at all. 16-16 is all tied. Fly to Soar sets it for AMZ. Sets it to Rise. Jumps too early. They have to set it over. They all blocked in unison. That was an amazing timing of blocks. 17-16 to SOKUDO High.
I do not think SOKUDO has a sub for his sub art.
They don't. They use it up on the libero. That's what makes it tough, and that's what makes it amazing that they're managing to struggle against OGAKI, who, even though they made it to the finals, I don't think they're just as good as SOKUDO. That was tactical. If Savat wasn't lagging, he could have got that. That was an amazing play. Goes to 4 AMZ. Goes to Fly to Soar, slams it straight down and managed to receive it. Goes to Alec, brings it back over. Del doesn't even hit it. Goes to 4 AMZ, goes to Fly to Soar. They're all focusing on Fly to Soar because Savat is lagging. Feints it over, maybe going for the right, but it hits the back row. Goes to 4 AMZ again. Goes to Fly to Soar. A good spike, but it managed to receive it again. It's a big rally, ladies and gentlemen.
The sub art just lagging in midair.
Hits the side of the block, but he managed to receive it again. The rally is amazing. Sets it straight up. A shit set, but it's pretty good. Now the back. Ooh. Fails to hit it. 18-18. See, Vold, what I don't understand also is that OGAKI Academy has a full 10 players. They are 4 on the bench. They should be swapping people out. They're messing it up. It's a rally at the moment. They're not bothering for sets. They're just sending it towards the net. They're not sending it to each other. The only person you can set to on the front row is Fly to Soar. Vol, do you want to know the funny thing? They're sending it over. What OGAKI Academy could do is they could just spike it as soon as they set it over. Instead of blocking, they could just spike it. And that'll be it for that. 18-19 to OGAKI Academy. It may go to 5 sets if SOKUDO High don't pull it together. Set it over again.
Just amazing.
A good block
amazing
by Jail.
From Sevar. Just time-stopping jumps.
Yeah, just like NP.
Oh my god.
Oh, a good bump. Safe play. Send it straight up on the line. Send it. Going for the feint. Goes to 4MZ. Goes to Fly to Soar. Fly to Soar tried to be cocky doing a 180, but it hits the net. 19-20. Fly to Soar might be selling. Goes to Zul. Might pass it to Fly to Soar. Everyone's trying to go on Fly to Soar. A good receive. They try spiking it. That was a wipe. Del fell for it. That was a wipe. 19-21.
What's up, Cell Peep?
What's that?
Cell Peep.
Sell Peep? Nah, dude. I don't sell anymore. Well, OGAKI Academy managed to touch it. A good block by Fly to Soar. Sending it straight up. They're feinting it over. Rives gets the set. He sets it to Zul, sorry. Goes to Fly to Soar. Tries to wipe it, but OGAKI Academy aren't buying it. Now the benched people of OGAKI Academy, they're now bitching them of OGAKI on the pitch. They're finally subbing in people. They subbed out Electors for Apple Size 65. Let's see if this will make a difference. FMZ going for the ball, doesn't even bother to set. Doesn't go for the ball. They need to pull it together. They could win this here and then if they stop making mistakes. It's 20-23 to OGAKI Academy. Slams it straight down by Rise, 21-23.
Right on the line. That was a good spike.
It's getting close. Delve with the good serve. Sets it to Justin. Justin slams it straight down. 4MC with the as well. Sets it. A good spike again by Rives with the diagonal spikes.
If
This
SOKUDO can
diagonal
keep
tap
OGAKI
downs.
from getting to 24.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
At least it was behind the line. At least they didn't give them the 24.
Yep.
Goes for MC. Sets it to Zul. They might set to Rives again. All three blockers immediately rush to Rives, but he managed to get it past. They try and fade it over again. I think they're just playing it safe. They're just playing it safe until SOKUDO makes a mistake. What the hell?
That was a mistake right there.
That was a mistake right there indeed, Vold. 22-24. They need to tie it. It's getting intense now. Flightosaur manages to save it. Covering for Zavar.
It
They're
was 2
bumping it
hits.
over.
Zavar hit it too.
Yeah. Whoa, that good block by Rives. 23-24. It's getting intense indeed,
SOKUDO just needs
ladies
to
and gentlemen.
not mess up the serve.
It could be over in a matter of seconds. What both teams need to do is they need to play it safe. Look at that, 24-24. It is tied, ladies and gentlemen. SOKUDO High could win this as the third set. This could be over in a matter of seconds. Who knows? Both teams just need to play it safe. They tap it over. Goes to Zul. Zul messes up the set. Rive saves it. They need to tap over. A Flightosaur with the spike. Thank God that Rive saved it. They send it over the net. Send it over to 4AMZ. Sets over, but oh my God, it goes over the net. Thank God it doesn't go outside of the court. It goes to Zul. It goes to 4AMZ. Savart is lagging. He's teleporting all over the place. Goes to Rives. Rives hits out the back. No one got it at the back. Everyone was too forward. 25-24 to SOKUDO High. If they get the
SOKUDO
next
gets the
point,
serve,
that's
it's
it. They
game.
win the finals. Vold, at this point, it's Moy Pon. It's pretty much Moy Pon. They're tapping it over. They manage to get it over. They send it straight up. It goes for AMZ. Goes to Rives. Oh my God, the receiver's going outside of the court, but it manages to get over. It's over the net. Wait, no. No!
That's game.
SOKUDO High wins the finals. SOKUDO High wins the Winter Cup finals, ladies and gentlemen. After lag and after so many plot twists and after Iran and after America and after all of these crazy politics, SOKUDO High wins the Winter Cup final. They win the trophy, they win the crown. And the next finals are until spring, where by then Haikyuu Season 4 will have come out and we can see a bunch of new teams and a bunch of new players coming. So until then, I've been your commentator, Fraspeep, and also with Voldesnort.
Let's get Zavar in here. SOKUDO team captain.
Yeah, let's get Zavar in here actually.
To talk about his win.
Let's get Zavar in here real quick.
Yo, what's
Zavar,
up?
what were your feelings during the match as you were lagging?
So yeah, I grabbed my flying Raijin and I started throwing it everywhere. I thought I could distract them.
You made a crazy play earlier where you pretty much hit the ball. I don't know how, but you hit the ball from across the court. It was insane.
I did. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna have to see that video.
Yeah. Maybe my memory's just a bit
Better
foggy.
see it, be
Definitely
sure to
did hit the
like
ball
it,
at one.
and subscribe to
Opinion.
me. Come on.
Savar, what do you think of OGAKI Academy's efforts?
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot. If we lost that set, that would have been the game for us. They would probably took the 5th set. Cause I was lagging, I couldn't set. Zol was a bit laggy. Rhythm was laggy at the 4th set. So we don't know what would have happened on the 5th.
So what was happening during the VC? What was it like? What was the
Everyone was just panicking, but also, you know, just trying to focus on the next point. So
That's good.
yeah, but nah. Once we won, you know, they can't complain because I had like 5k ping and Rhythm had like 2k ping. So
It's pretty interesting.
everyone was screaming though that we won, so pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's a great feeling to hear once you know that you've won the finals. What do you have to say? Who do you like to thank for all of this?
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Zebar, you gotta
since
challenge
I
Rio.
left Fortnite Dance Academy, and they were basically Katsuragi, so that was gonna be a hardest match I thought. But Ogaki played a lot better than them. I didn't even know what team they were, so they did really well. And I hope they keep playing, not disband or anything like that, because usually teams leave after disbanding. I mean, usually teams quit after losing. So
Zebar,
I
you
want
can
to see
challenge you in the chat.
more matches in the spring tournament, probably January or something. I don't know.
An early prediction maybe, because we don't know spring tournament, but who do you think might win the spring tournament this early?
Spring tournament? Well, if SOKUDO keeps playing, I'm gonna have to be biased and vote for them. But if OGAKI keeps like getting new members and just soliding up their offense, then I think they could possibly win. You know, they're a pretty good team. So same with Rakuzan. They just need to learn how to do their quicks. I feel like everyone's just gonna go on like a huge time skip.
Vol, do you have any questions?
I feel like after everyone watches season 4, a lot more hype will be here, and maybe a few more,
Yeah.
few new teams.
Yep. I think we changed the icon to which is it? Nope, we didn't change the icon yet.
Zebar,
But
give
anyways,
us a
I have an
rundown
icon for the
of
game
what
now.
your
So
gym is gonna look like.
yeah. Subscribe to these dudes though. Hopefully they can do some spring tournament shit. So
Yeah.
well,
Well,
I'm gonna go back to practice.
I think that's it. Everyone, thank you for watching. This has been a pretty exhilarating finals, and also semi-finals yesterday. You may catch me involved again commentating for the Spring Cup. Who knows?
Maybe
We're-
you see us
we're
play
pretty-
with our teams. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We don't know if we may be playing ourselves. We don't know if there'll be other commentators. If there are other commentators, that will be pretty exciting to hear about. And so overall, I would like to thank everyone for watching over yesterday and today. It's been really supportive seeing you guys getting as pumped as we were for these finals, just for a volleyball game. And overall, we'll see you in the next Spring Cup or maybe in game. So for now, farewell.